Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today I just wanted to do a short video on talking about high and low range on your Ventrac 4500 and 4520, and to sort of go over a few of the things on which one to use for what you're doing. A lot of times on this channel, you know, for the last few years now, I've been mowing and stuff. People have been asking me a lot if I mow in high range, and they seem like they're sort of surprised about that. And then reading other groups on Facebook and things, this is brought up a lot of times, and people seem to think that you have to cut grass and use the Ventrac in low range and the high range only for transporting things. So I want to discuss a few things, go over a few things in the owner's manual, and just share with you what I do and have been doing, and to sort of clarify this a little bit. So I've only had a Ventrac for just over 3 years now, but I have been around Steiner machines since early 1990. So the same practice that I'm telling you about, we've been doing for 34 years now, and we never had any issues. So to start off, 72-inch mower deck is what I have in my 4500. Cutting grass, you know, tough cutting, them kind of things, I always use high range. If I'm doing like heavy dirt work where I'm either plowing snow, using the slip scoop or the power bucket to do, you know, heavy digging into material to push and haul, them kind of things I use low range for. Now with the grapple on the bucket, I did do a couple videos where I was removing tree limbs and that kind of stuff and brush with the grapple and the power bucket. I was using high range that whole time, and that's just because that's a light duty task. I was grabbing light brush, and then I could get back quicker with transport in high range. So their low range really wasn't necessary. Now tough cutting, if I'm like, sometimes if I'm chopping down like old sweet corn patch and things I've done in the past, or if you're in some really tall, thick growth, stemmy material and that kind of stuff, like messing around the fence row, sometimes I will put it in low range, and that's just because when you get that tall growth and you're pushing that stuff over with a tough cut before you cut it, it does make it easier. Steep hills, inclines, that kind of stuff, of course you're going to want to use low range for that. But yet I do have some, you know, hills on some swale, real short ones here, and I'm going to demonstrate that, and I've never had to shift down into low to do that. I just use high range. The hydrostat system on your Ventrac is no different than like a car. If say you're in a standard shift car and you're climbing a hill, you know when it's lugging and when you should use a lower gear, and that's the same as this. You just use, you can listen to it. If you're in high range and you're really having to jam the stick forward and really put force on it, and you can hear these hydro units whine, if you're having issues really having to push on it to make it go up a hill, chances are you want to use low range. So the thing with using high range is, and I'm going to do a couple passes here with the mower deck on to show you guys the difference. I generally run 7.5 to 8.5 mile an hour. So we're going to figure about 8 mile an hour when I cut grass. I move right along, and this machine has no problem cutting at them speeds. That's the nice thing about having a commercial machine. I can cut at commercial speeds. If I'm using low range, 5.5 max, and then I got the stick jammed all the way forward, maxed out. And some people say they have more power, you know, when they use low range mowing. Well, but if you were in high range and if you went about 5 miles per hour, I think you would notice there also that you would gain power. So the benefits of running in high range, especially while mowing, you're more efficient. You can get things done faster. If you cut grass in low range for 10 hours and I cut grass in high range for 10 hours, I'm almost 25 to 30% more efficient, which means I'll cut my time down to around 7 hours. So you're cutting a lot of time off, and time is fuel, and fuel is money. So definitely for a commercial guy, high range is your range, especially on flat terrain. You shouldn't have any problems at all operating these. We're going to go out. I'm going to do some passes in high range. I'm going to do them in low range and just show you guys the big difference that there is. All right, so when you look in your owner's manual of your 4500, and I even looked at the 4520, when you look under high-low range, one thing I did want to note under the caution spot, the bottom paragraph, it says always use low range when operating on slopes greater than 15 degrees. So anything greater than 15 degrees, you want to use low range. I would even say less than that if they're really long hills, depending on what you're doing on. Low range would probably be a good idea on that anyway. It says low range is recommended for most pulling, pushing, and slow travel. High range is ideal for transport and light duty tasks. I would classify using a finish mower or even light tough cutting. To me, that's a light duty task. And like I said, pushing, pulling heavy loads, all that kind of stuff, I would definitely use low range for that. All right, here I wanted to demonstrate showing you guys high range and low range while you were cutting. Now, I'm not going to be physically cutting the grass using the mower deck because I did it yesterday. I would have liked to have been able to get that footage, but it wasn't as nice of a day. So I'm going to make a few passes, let you guys see the speed difference and see normal, how fast you would go, and then listen to the hydros as well. All right, everyone, I hope this video helped. I hope I clarified a few things up on this video as well. Like I said, just generally using the machine, you can tell just by listening to it and feel when you need to use high and low range. So, like I said, pushing with the blade, heavy pushing, snow, dirt, using the power bucket, digging up material and that kind of stuff. Use your low range definitely for that, but for cutting grass, especially flat terrain, I don't see any problem with using this in high range. You got a hydraulic oil cooler on here anyway. My family on Steiners have been running high range for years, and I've always used high range on this. I've never used low range for mowing on this machine. So I hope this video helps. I got more how-to and tip videos coming up. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and smash that like button so you don't miss any upcoming videos like this. Thanks for watching.